Hello again, everybody. This is Derek from ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. That's right, ScreamingEagleAirsoft.com. You can go to that website and get all your airsoft supplies and needs. And today what we're going to do is we are doing a know-it-all video where I fire my King Arms M4, my modified King Arms M4 with its new cool paint job, and I will fire it with a battery with the Tamiya plug, okay? And then the second video I'm going to film is actually how to change the Tamiya plug into Dean's plugs, okay? And then once I get done filming the Dean's plug video, then I will return to the chrono and I will fire this gun using the Dean's plug. And I'm going to chrono them at both times, and what we are looking for is to see if there is any change in the rate of fire. Okay, so the battery is going to be the same. I wanted to make sure that the battery was a Tamiya and a Dean's battery, and the gun will be the same, the BBs will be the same, everything will be the same. The only thing different will be the Dean's connectors. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, before we get to it, I just wanted to make sure that you had all the facts on what's going on here, okay? The battery we are going to be using for this rate of fire test will be a Firefox LiPo 11.1 2300 milliamp 12C, okay? That's the Firefox LiPolymer battery, 11.1 volt, 2300 milliamp 12C. We'll be using that. We'll also be using the X-Core-Tech 2300 chronograph. That's the chronograph that we will be using today. We'll also be using my King Arms. It has some modifications to it. The main modification that might affect our rate of fire is the 130 spring. It has a 130 spring in there. Yes, it has some it has the stock gears, but it has some modify, like the cylinder, the piston. I'm using a steel tooth piston. The piston head and things like that are different. So those will get modified. And the barrel shouldn't have any effect on the rate of fire and all that stuff. So using the stock, okay, now I don't remember if I have a King Arms or a JG motor in there. I do believe it's the King Arms motor is back in the King Arms. And I am using the Lonex, or is it the Lonex? Nope. This is the Matrix Flash Mag. Okay, I will be using the Matrix Flash Mag. And then that should do it. So now you know all the facts. Let's go ahead and start chronoing. Alright guys, what we're going to do here is, remember this is the Tamiya plug connector. And I'm going to be using the top line there is the rounds per second. Okay, let's take a look. This is with 25s. $18.28. $17.89. Do it 5 times so we get 5 numbers. 1805. 18 even. 98, okay. 1798. All right, and then I'll do an average of those and we'll see how they do. Now let me go solder some Dean's connectors on and we'll do a test when I'm done. Alright guys, I'm back and I have finished putting on the Dean's connectors on the battery, right? I've got my Dean's connector there and I've got my Dean's connector there on the gun, and so what we're going to do now is we're going to shoot it through my chrono and with 25s using my Firefox 11.1 fully charged. I went back up and recharged it again, and 2300 milliamp LiPo battery. We're going to use the X-Core-Tech chrono to chrono it, and using Matrix 25s in the very same gun, no changes other than the only change that was ever made was the Dean's connectors. And let's see if that affects rate of fire at all. Alright, here we go. You see the chronograph right there? I got 25s loaded. I've got my Dean's connectors attached, and we're going to go for a rate of fire test. Alright, what do we got? 19.14. I think that's gone up just a little bit. I think yesterday it was floating around 18.5. 19.14. Okay, we're going to try again. 19.07. 18.94, so it's floating right around 19. One last time. 19.1. Alright. Alright, so the speculations and the estimates that everybody has shown, I'm sure it varies on the gun and the battery that you're using also, but from what I've seen with my loadout, I have improved my rate of fire. Not by a whole lot, by about 1 round a second, it looks like. I went from an 18 to a 19 rounds per second. So Dean's connectors does do that. Now, not only does it do that, that's really not all it does. I have had problems in the past with my Tamiya connectors coming unplugged, and then I would pull the trigger and nothing would happen, or it would just be so loose there would be no connection. But from what I've seen with these Dean's connectors, it's once you plug them in, they're plugged. You have to unplug them, you know. They don't just come unplugged. The only problem is you have to do a little soldering of your own to get them on there. They don't come that way. If you're so inclined, you can get some batteries and some guns with Dean's connectors already attached. But if you don't, if you still have Tamiyas on there, I recommend switching to Dean's. That way you'll get more consistent shooting, you'll get better battery response, and it won't come undone for the game sometimes. Alright, so thanks for coming out and checking out this video. Whenever you're on airsoft field, play safe.